This is the offering of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami. My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your divine grace. On this auspicious day of your Vyasapuja celebration, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for your saving me in the darkest hour of my life. I feel blessed by your divine grace that this feeling of gratitude accompanies me constantly in my activities of Krishna consciousness. It is indeed the greatest blunder if someone does not acknowledge the good done to him by others. Amazingly, I came across the following quotation from the Vamana Purana that confirms this fact in a most graphic way. So that's a little bit longer quote from this Purana. Those who are ungrateful and thus condemned by people in general are always punishable. As Janardana, that's Krishna, is the foremost of lords, as the Himalayas are the best of mountains, as Sudarshana is the chief weapon, as Garuda is the foremost of birds, and as the Ganga is the best of all rivers, as Ananta is the chief of all serpents, as the lotus is the most glorious flower, as Nandana is the best of all celestial forests, as the abode of Brahma is the best planet within the universe, as Agastya is the foremost of sages, as the moon is the foremost luminary in the sky, as the ocean is the greatest reservoir of water, as the Brahmanas are the best of human beings, as Kanchi is the best of all cities, as the lion is the king of beasts, as the mango is the king of fruits, as the banyan is the foremost of trees, as Parvati is the best of all chaste women, as Vaitarani is the most terrible hell. So those who are ungrateful are the most heinous among sinners. One can atone for the killing of a cow or a brahmana, but a person who does not acknowledge the good done to him by a friend or well-wisher cannot atone for that sin, even in millions of years. Unquote. This feeling of gratitude and your blessings give me the strength to deliver your teachings to faraway countries. You might be pleased to hear that in the middle of Ulaanbaatar, the capital city of Mongolia, we acquired a piece of land and are planning to construct a temple there. The Mongolian devotees are very enthusiastic to translate and print your books. More than 15 titles have been printed so far, including Bhagavad Gita as it is, and Krishna book. All the devotees in the Mongolian Yatra are bowing down on this auspicious day to offer their gratitude to your divine grace. Let your fame be spread all over the three worlds. Your grateful servant, Avinash Chandra Bhaktivedanta Swami. Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai!
This is the Vyasapuja offering from His Grace Shankar Prabhu. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our humble obeisance in the dust of your lotus feet. Searching out our souls, trying to find the appropriate words to glorify you on your 2012 Vyasapuja Day, verse 92, Ilvamanga Thakur Krishna Kanamrita came to mind. I'll try to read this. Madhurang Madhurang Vapur Asya Vigor, Madhurang Madhurang Vadam Madhuram, Madhu Gandhi Mad Mritu Smritam Itat Aho, Madhuram 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 Madhuram. The transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet, and his face is even sweeter than his body, but his soft smile, which has the fragrance of honey, is still sweeter. We tried to think of what it is about you that is sweeter and sweetest, but we were completely unable to make such distinction. Srila Prabhupada, everything about you is the finest quintessence of sweetness, the absolutely sweetest nectar. We could not think of any aspect of yours that could be downgraded to sweeter or sweet. Absolutely everything about you is of the sweetest caliber. Therefore, we are completely defeated by your sweetness, and we beg for the mercy of being totally drowned in your unlimited sweetness for all eternity. Srila Prabhupada, you have engaged us here in Austin with the order of make our Austin Center a grand success. Serving you here in Austin in the sweetest nectar, we still remember how your dear servant, His Holiness Vishnujam Swami, came to Austin in the spring of 1971 and inaugurated Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement in this strategic city. And we pray, Srila Prabhupada, that we may be successful in carrying out your order. The ISKCON devotees in Austin, Texas. Written by His Grace Shankar Das Adhikari and Vishnupriya Devidasi. Her Grace Vishnupriya Devidasi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai!
So now we will start giving our own personal offerings, those who have written offerings. You can all come up here one by one and read out your offerings. We'll start. If we start by the left and this most senior, please over here, do you have a written offering?
I'm not written it, there is something in my heart.
There's something in your heart.
Yeah, so let us see if many say something that they never.
Okay. Who has written an offering? Comes to answer, you've written an offering. You've written an offering. Jørgen? Is that it?
Not written.
You have a in your heart. Okay. Give it on. Then comes Sandra can start.
Prabhupada, please set our humble obeisances. Another year is gone, and again we are together to celebrate you in this auspicious event of your Vyasapuja. Another chance to glorify you and fix our minds on your divine qualities and transcendental activities. This is a very nectarian thing, to be absorbed in hearing and the realizations of your dedicated followers, to fix our minds on you, sharing words and thoughts with the aim to serve and please you, to again remind each other about your unequal position in our lives. Srila Prabhupada, yesterday we celebrated Krishna Janmashtami here in the temple. The temple was full of devotees and guests, and it was a truly wonderful day. To have the darshan of our Lord's Shri Gauritai, so gorgeously dressed and effulgently smiling to and benedicting all the devotees and guests was such an nectarian experience. Recently, new devotees have joined the temple and book distribution has become stronger. Jyotishwar Prabhu is going out almost daily and is training as some of the new bhaktas in distributing your books. The temple also do harinams and prasadam distribution several times a week. Both the temple and the new center in Aarhus and the group of devotees in Frederiksberg are developing and working dedicatedly to serve the Sankirtan mission. It is pleasing to see that the yatra is expanding and trying to please you. Srila Prabhupada, your instructions and desires are the basis of our success. Please bless us all with the desire to endeavor more to fix our minds on your mission and the process of bhakti. Please bless this fallen servant of yours with a strong desire to give up his foolish material desires and fix his mind on you in loving service. May this day be filled with your glories. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai. All insignificant servant and sacrifice.
Who was next to have been?
And this will be in Danish. Kære Srila Prabhupada, jeg hylder dig på denne din lykkebringende fremkomstdag. Takker dig fra mit hjertes skyld, fordi du bragte denne uforlignelige kristne bevidsthedsbevægelse til os i Vesten, ifølge din åndelige mesters ønske. I mit daglige liv er du altid nærværende i skrift, tale, film og i din mystiske allestedsnærværelse. Du gør det muligt for mig, novise, i mine bønner, meditationer og ofringer, at nærme mig Sri Krishna mere og mere. Din kristne bevidsthedsbevægelse rummer så utrolig mange velsignelser for mig og mine nærmeste. Dine trofaste hengivende selskab, frugtbare namarasa, bhakti virksomheder, tempelbesøg og det lykkebringende samvær med ældre hengivende, der har mødt dig i din sidste manifestation på jorden, og inspirerende har fortalt om dine transcendentale aktiviteter. Jo mere jeg erfarer din uendelige kærligheds beskyttende kraft, jo mere ydmyg og taknemmelig bliver jeg. Du er æret, lovet og priset i evighedernes evighed, kæreste Srila Prabhupada, de ydmyge tjener, Hare Krishna Bhaktivedanta, Om Tata. Ja.
So, I will now read my first Vyasapuja offering to Prabhupada. And I was first I will offer my respectful obeisances to the devotees here, and I hope that they will forgive me for not performing any practical service today, because I have spent my time running this step. Magana Dashatana Slapia. Taksu Militum. It means my colleague. Now only sure that
Kripa Sindhu Devasha, Tita Mario Vaishnav Namaha.
So, the writings of the fallen servant sounds like this. Dear most revered Srila Prabhupada, on this most joyous day of your merciful appearance in this world of fallen and bewildered souls, I humbly beg that you allow such an insignificant servant as myself a few words to express my immense gratitude and respect. My language is faulty and my words are far too weak to even begin to describe your glories. Nevertheless, I pray that you appreciate this worthful attempt and put me closer to you to speak. I am very ashamed to say this, but honestly, I do not love you. I regard you as the supreme, respectable, and knowledgeable man, and I offer my obeisances for this very reason. I am in awe. But this is not the proper love for the spiritual master. Genuine love is spontaneous, ecstatic, and endless. Where on the platform of pure love for the Guru, I would feel a great explosion of wonderful transcendental feelings every time we meet. But I don't. Sometimes I even feel that honoring you is a dry and tasteless duty that does not make any difference at all. I even overlook your instructions and have doubts about you. Yet, despite all of my grave shortcomings, you have not neglected me. By the unlimited mercy and that of your exemplary followers, I have experienced by direct perception that sublime taste, which is Krishna consciousness. By dint of this divine knowledge, I know that Krishna is real, and I am so lucky to be his eternal servant. I know that you are his pure transcendental ambassador, sent to save the conditioned souls. I understand that what doubts and problems I may have is only because of temporary material contamination that will certainly be removed in due course of time by practicing the teachings you have very kindly given us. Just as a fallen leaf may momentarily disturb the surface of an otherwise calm lake, similarly, my faith in you may sometimes appear to waver, but the entirety of the great lake is never disturbed by the small leaf. In the same way, my doubts in your divine grace are only superficial in nature, and on a deeper level, my faith remains utterly and perfectly steady. On this most happy day of your appearance, your ungrateful servant humbly submits the prayer that you continue by your loving potency to cleanse his heart of its innumerable impurities. He prays that you mercifully continue to show him the path, so that he may one day truly love your divine grace and Lord Krishna and Lord Sri Krishna, wholly and fully, truly, beyond all doubt.
Who has had written offerings? I have a written offering, so just on the principle that we will favor those who written the offerings. And just a suggestion that we all already now make a promise that next year I will write an offering. It's actually part of the worshippers Srila to write an offering, and everyone should write an offering. Next year, Prabhupada will be even happier when there are 20 devotees who written their offerings. So, anyway, I wrote here. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please get my obeisances all belong to you and Lord Sri Krishna. Having, actually, I'll just explain. I just, 2 days ago, I was called out to there was some Sai Baba people in Jutland, and one man had died there, and they wanted someone to perform a Vedic funeral ceremony, and they didn't have anyone among themselves, and they couldn't find it, and since somehow or other ended with me, so I would have to call over and perform a funeral ceremony in a chapel with Sai Baba people. And it was quite interesting and very simple. I was simply trying to dress as a Brahmin, performing some ritual and puja. And we sang Ye Niva Prema Dana, like that. Everyone must have a few of their own songs. And I spoke with them from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and we did some other small rituals, and I thought it was so nice. And so this, here I'm writing with this in mind. Having just returned from an event with a group centered around a famous so-called guru, I'm still vividly feeling the contrast. Of course, it may be a cheap background to compare you against. Still, the contrast is so striking. Now, these people were actually very kind to me. They also had a sense of community and purpose and being enlightened, and wanted to be spiritual and work for peace in the world. They had more traits of goodness than the average persons, were vegetarians, tried to follow some Vedic culture, and were singing bhajans, and sometimes even the Hare Krishna mantra. Still, all this only made the contrast so much more apparent. The main difference is, when it comes down to it, you actually gave solid knowledge. Without knowledge, everything else is just an empty shell. A nice empty shell perhaps, but empty nevertheless. You also gave the shell, in fact, to a much more complete degree, or to the complete degree. But most important of all, you gave the substance, the true and practical knowledge by which everything becomes clear, as everything becomes clear in the light of the sun. Very clear and understandable, Sambandha, how to understand one's relationship to Lord Krishna, Avideya, how to act in that relationship, and Prayojana, the ultimate goal to be attained and to strive for. Others may give nice feelings and culture and fellowship, and even a sense of purpose and being enlightened, but when it comes down to it, only you gave solid understanding and so much of it. What is interesting is that some of those actually come to you when they need actual knowledge. Bhaktivedanta, he has knowledge, they readily admit. Or they call for us when they are in need, such as in times of the death of a dear relative. And even though we only speak the most simple Krishna conscious knowledge, the ABC of the Bhagavad Gita, they're very impressed with us and thankful. In this particular case, this made me more humble because these people were actually just like me and probably more qualified in most ways. The only reason I could make a difference in their lives was because of you, because of the knowledge you have given and because of your integrity. Because you get actual substance, you never had to make a show of being spiritual, a guru, etc. You simply were what you were, the giver of substantial Krishna conscious knowledge with full integrity. Therefore, although I tend to take you and your gift of Krishna consciousness for granted after having been around for a while, I pray that I may again become and always remain impressed and thankful for the knowledge and the substance of spiritual light that you gave to the world and to me. Please let me become an instrument for the distribution of this knowledge to others, so they may become truly happy and knowledgeable Krishna conscious devotees. I really only want to do that and thus become a faithful servant of yours, your humble servant. It's not us.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
So, Hare Krishna. So we have some who did not write offerings but want to. I think we also we have time. I think, if not written, then try to make it very concise, because of course we make it very concise when we have written things down, and not just. So, is schizophrenia?
What about Chaitanya Charitamrita?
What about Chaitanya Charitamrita?
First.
Just done? Om Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Swami Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Namaste Saraswati Krishna Krishna Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana Salakaya Chakshura-militamina Tasma Shri Guru. Dear Srila Prabhupada, you open our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, because our eyes was blinded by ignorance. So this should be some words of gratitude. But there's no gratitude in my heart. We just heard from your very, very elevated disciples, His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami, that an ungrateful person is the most heinous of all sinners. We hear so often the phrase, now becoming an empty phrase, I love you. How can you say I love you to a person who saved your life? How can you say I love you to a person who didn't only save your life, but saved your soul? What you gave us, Srila Prabhupada, is bringing us back home, back to Godhead, back to Krishna. How can I thank you for that? I cannot write a letter saying thank you very much. So I'm one of these ungrateful sinners, Prabhupada. But I beg that you will continuously bestow your mercy upon me and all of your servants here. This is the most auspicious day of the year. It's the most happy day of the year. There's only one sad thing, is that nobody understands. We had a Janmashtami yesterday with approximately 200 people. But today there's just a few handfuls. Thank you, Prabhupada.